Growth stocks beat value stocks by 16.4% last quarter.
Small cap growth stocks have had a stellar summer.
In the second quarter, they posted a 46.8% earnings surprise.
Louis Navellier with InvestorPlace shares a list of 3 quiet growth stocks with major momentum.
And this is a small cap. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Could you find some stocks you haven't heard of yet? Let's dive in. Louis, so great to have you on the show today. I know you have a lot of knowledge to share with our viewers, and I'm really excited about the topic today. A lot of our viewers love growth stocks, and that's what you have for us today, a list of 3 small cap stocks you probably haven't heard of yet, but should be in your portfolio or at least on your watch list. Louis, let's talk about small caps in general. What is the small cap market doing right now?
It actually has had a great year. And it was largely due to that annual Russell realignment. Just so you know, what Russell does is they have a preliminary list for their changes of the Russell 1000, 2000 indices, but they tease us for several weeks before they actually make it. And so they started in May, and every week they updated the list, and it was finalized on June 27th. And then on Monday, June 20th, the stocks exploded because all the index products or tracking managers were forced to buy the stocks. I've always loved the annual Russell realignment. I mean, there was one year, I remember we popped 6% the day of the realignment, and that was half the performance that year. And the other thing that's helping small caps is they're more domestic. And, half the sales of the S&P are outside of America, and it's not very strong economically in Asia or Europe. So if you want to just have stronger sales and earnings, just buy more small mid caps.
Good advice. And I'm really interested to hear how the Jackson Hole discussion this last week impacts the small cap market. Is it good news for them? Any kind of movement happening in that market right now because of that big discussion on Friday last week?
It creates liquidity, and the small caps are like bunnies. They sit and they hop. They move more erratically, but any liquidity surge can send them soaring, and I have some today that are running as a result of Jackson Hole. And obviously, we were all relieved that Chairman Powell finally realized there's a labor market problem. Christopher Waller, who's one of the governors on the Fed, he went on Bloomberg for 30 minutes and explained the problems in the labor market before the Labor Department had its huge downward revision, showing essentially no job growth for the past 3 months. Okay, so we're going to get a rate cut in September. But the thing that Chairman Powell mentioned that shocked everybody is he said they were 100 basis points or 1% above the neutral rate, implying they might cut another 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, that's some good news for all of the market, specifically in small caps. I know there's a lot of loans and interest that goes with the small cap market specifically and with a lot of these growth stocks. So I think that that's great news for these companies. Let's get into your list now. I'm really excited about these 3 names. If you've been following our channel for a long time, these are new names. We haven't covered them on this show yet, so I'm excited to get right to them. If you have been following our channel for a long time, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe. It helps us get more guests like Louis on the show, and that's why it's so important to subscribe for us too. All right, Louis, let's get into it. What's the first company you want to share with us today?
Argonne, the symbol is AGX. This is a company that's helping build out the data centers, does a lot of construction. Their sales are forecasted to grow 7.5% in the third quarter. Their earnings are forecasted to grow 25.2%. But what I really like about it, the analyst community has been revising their estimates significantly higher for this stock. Just 2 months ago, they were estimating $1.22 a share. Now they're estimating $1.64. So that's a big upward revision. And in the second quarter, they posted a 46.8% earnings surprise. And they've had huge surprises in the last 4 quarters. But this stock is definitely a bunny stock. It's going to sit, it's going to hop, and you have to get used to that pattern. But obviously, there's a huge data center boom in America, and they're profiting from it.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of growth coming in data centers right now. We've covered several other data center plays. Applied Digital is one we've talked about on here a few times. They're kind of the landlords for this. What piece of the data center build out, the infrastructure, is Argonne actually covering?
Just the construction. They don't specialize in rack systems or anything. They just they're just a basic general contractor, but they are getting quite a few of those data centers. You know, I have a home in Reno, Nevada, and the boom there is just ridiculous. And I know they're where you are in Sioux Falls. I was talking to a friend up in Boise the other day. They're booming there. You know, the data centers go to wherever there's cheap electricity. They do like the cold weather because they like to vent the heat at night. And of course, they need fast internet as well.
Yeah, all of important factors for these data centers. Let's talk a little bit more about Argan and what else has you excited about this company? What are analysts saying? I know it's been on quite a run recently. The stock has had a really good past few months. Is there still upside to come?
It's a bad word, but my thing is front running institutional investors. What I do is you watch a stock break out, I usually get in after it breaks out, but then I'll ride it as institutional investors continue to revise their earnings estimates higher. And AGX Argon is definitely in that sweet spot. And we expect a lot more positive analyst revisions and a lot more institutions buying the stock. How we find these stocks is through our quantitative models. And we have something called a high alpha stock, a stock that kind of zigs when the market zags. So an alpha over volatility is our top secret quantitative indicator. So they popped up on the quant. They were reconfirmed on our 8-factor fundamental model. And I've been in the stock for some time, but if I'm looking for a data center bargain, it would be AGX because it did consolidate a bit.
All right, very good. Thank you, Louis. Let's move on to that second growth stock you have for us today.
Yeah, this is Idaho Strategic Resources. This is a gold stock with an interest in rare earths. Obviously, that's a national priority to mine more here in America and be less dependent upon China. Their sales are forecasted to rise 52.8%, which is stunning. Their earnings are forecasted to rise a similar amount. The analyst community has revised their estimates significantly higher from just 13 cents a share a month ago to 20 cents a share today. You know, the gold rally is real. A lot of central banks are buying gold. A lot of people are nervous about central banks around the world. Not so much ours, but the others. So they just feel they need to hold more gold. And the gold miners are just making a ton of money right now. And so this is a phenomenal stock with a rare earth play.
Yeah, the gold miners are making a ton of money right now, but we know that pendulum can swing the other way. Is this one maybe potentially more volatile just based on the gold market? Or has gold really proven to be not so volatile and really more of a safer bet? I would love your thoughts on that.
Gold stocks are traditionally held as ballast. So when the other stocks start to get hit with profit taking, often the gold stocks will rally. So we have something called an optimization model where we try to find stocks that zig when other stocks zag. And that's why we have so many gold stocks now. Not only are they profiting, they make our portfolio safer. But individually, if you watch them one by one, yeah, they're kind of bunny-like and they are erratic, but they make sense in an overall portfolio.
One thing I want to ask about this one, Louis, is there's not a lot of analyst coverage on this stock. That can happen in growth stocks for sure. A lot of small caps don't get a lot of coverage. Is that a cause for concern at all?
No, it's a good thing. And also because it has that rare earth mineral play, there'll probably be more analysts picking it up. Because remember, the government took an interest in MP materials for rare earth. So not only does this company have that same play, but it also earns money. It has the gold business, and it's poised to boom. So I expect more analysts to pick it up.
Yeah. Any thoughts for you? I know you're not one of the major analysts covering this, but thoughts on upside on this one? It's already had such a strong last year. Is there a lot of upside left to go, and how much could investors expect?
You know, my average stock, just for the record, has about 19.8% sales growth and about 58% earnings growth. Now, I don't expect them to be up 58% because there will be some what we call PE compression. A stock like this, I would be disappointed if it didn't earn 40% in the next year.
That's some good upside for sure. Well, thank you for that one. Gets us into a different sector a little bit. And your third stock pick of looking at different growth plays out there with a lot of momentum right now is in another completely different industry.
Yeah, Wilden is basically a big government contractor that's called Wilden Group, and the symbol is WLD. LDN. And again, this is a huge government contractor. They do all kinds of consulting services to the government. And this is a small cap. It kind of came out of nowhere, but their sales are forecast to be about 3.6. The earnings are forecast to be up 11. That may not sound spectacular, but last quarter they posted 109.8% earnings surprise, and the analyst community has just started revising their estimates higher for next quarter from 76 cents to 81 cents. So, we are in the midst of this energy boom in America where LNG, natural gas, midstream, and pipelines are all booming. And of course, a lot of the power for our data centers is going to be mostly natural gas. And what was happening under the Biden administration, you could still do a natural gas plant, but by 2032, they wanted you to sequester the carbon. And under the Trump administration, that rule has been thrown out. So the natural gas data center expansion is booming right now.
Yeah, looking at the chart on this one too, there's some really interesting moves happening in the stock itself. I'm curious to know what might be behind that. We saw a nice spike early in August and then a little bit of a pullback. Any idea what's behind that recent volatility?
Just the positive analyst revision and Jerome Powell's speech. I think that just created a lot of buying pressure.
I want to talk a little bit about small caps in general, this one included. When you see a small cap, a lot of investors are looking for those growth stocks. They want to get in before it has that really big run up. All three of these have had a really good year, but I feel like most stocks in the market have had a really good year. Is it still good enough if you're looking for growth to get in when it's on that momentum run up?
Yeah. So let's talk about growth versus value first, and we'll get into small cap. Growth stocks beat value stocks by 16.4% last quarter. Okay. That was the highest margin ever recorded. And when you have such dramatic outperformance in growth, it usually continues, even though value stocks can go higher. I mean, the only value stock I think that's done well is United Healthcare. Okay, and that was kind of a freak thing because somebody reported that Buffett took an interest in it. But the truth of the matter is that small caps are even more explosive. They're totally liquidity driven. Their sweet spot is usually from Thanksgiving to April 15th. What happens is we get that early January effect around Thanksgiving, and then if we get an early January effect, then the January effect in January is even more spectacular. And then, of course, people are funding their pensions till April 15th. So these stocks are just hyperactive.
Well, thank you for that talk on growth stocks. I know if you are a growth investor and you're looking for some other names to add that maybe have a lower price point, a couple of the ones we talked about today have still a little bit of a higher cost to entry. You have a different list for viewers today, an extra bonus that you can sign up for totally for free. Talk about these stocks, Louis.
Yeah, we have a special bonus report for you folks. One is a cloud computing company that's kind of under the radar. Another one is a LiDAR company that dominates the manufacturing of LiDAR. You need LiDAR for like the Waymo system. Most of the car companies except Tesla use LiDAR. The other stock is just another stock that scores super high on our fundamentals. It's actually what is called a fundamental A stock. And I only have 7 of them right now. And what a fundamental A stock is, it ranks super high on my A-factor fundamental model, which is sales growth, margin expansion, earnings stability, earnings momentum, return on equity, cash flow, and analyst earnings revisions. So when I find one of these fundamental A stocks, it's actually my most powerful model. So we have this special bonus report for you. Great fundamentals, great cloud computing company, and basically a mini monopoly dominating LiDAR right now.
Some really interesting stocks. And right now, these three stocks are all trading under $40 too. So that lower price point, true growth companies, really good small cap picks. So you can scan the QR code now or click the link we have for you in the description of this video to access that free report right now that Louis and his team have put together for you. Again, it's a list of 3 growth stocks all trading under $40 right now. You can get that for free by following the link now. Louis, thank you so much for your time today. We love
Yeah.
having you on the show. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you in any of these names? Are you looking into growth stocks right now? And have you already had a really good year following different growth names out there? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And as always, happy investing.